Hello friends and welcome to Parks Crafty Creations. I'm your host Brian Parks. You know the difference between a nice straight seam like this and a crooked one like this? It does a lot more than just show up on the back of your project. It affects how everything lays on the front of your project as well, which is why this is such an important fundamental to master. Today, we're getting back to the basics for our new sewists, and maybe even for some of my longtime sewists that have perhaps struggled with this and never quite managed to overcome it. Let's set those seams straight. Before we jump in, if you enjoy this content, be sure to give us a like down below, as it really does help out the channel. Do it now please, and if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. And hey, if you love what we do here, don't forget to share us with your friends. We all know how important it is to get our seams straight, but did you know it even shows on the front of our projects? Here's the straight seam. It lays nice and flat. And here's the crooked one. It's lumpy, wavy, and doesn't lay smooth at all. Of course, we all want that nice, straight seam, but maybe getting there has been a little elusive for you. Don't worry, that's why we're here to help. Now, the first thing most new sewists do is go looking for a tool that promises to help them sew straight. I've seen this come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, from those little magnetic seam guides to lasers. But the truth is, even with great tools like these, it's still very possible to sew a crooked seam. That's because they really are still just guides, and they don't actually sew for you. I heard a saying recently, and it really stuck with me. Think of them like rumble strips on the highway. They can let you know when you're drifting, but they won't stop you from driving into the guardrail. That's why it's so important to learn to sew straight on your own from the start. Then those guides can help you stay consistent once you've got the hang of it. Sticking with the driving analogy, sewing in a straight line is actually a lot like driving a car. When you're driving, you don't look right at the end of your hood. You look down the road a bit to see where you're going. The same holds true for your sewing. If you're watching your needle while you sew, that's like staring at the hood of your car. By the time the fabric gets there, it's already too late to fix anything. So instead, you want to look just ahead of your needle, a few inches down the line where your fabric is heading. Now, the problem is that your seam allowance guides are way up here by the needle. So, let's bring that guideline a little closer to you where you're looking. All you need is a piece of washi tape or masking tape. Something not too sticky so it won't leave residue. In fact, I use artist tape. I got this at Pearl Arts and Crafts years ago, and it works great for this. Line a ruler up with the seam allowance you want to use, maybe 5/8 of an inch. And then lay the tape down along that ruler so it extends several inches toward you. That way, instead of staring at the needle, you can just keep your eye on the edge of your fabric, following that long tape line. It's such a simple trick, but it really helps. Now that we're looking in the right place, let's fix our steering. A lot of new sewists have a tendency to push or pull at their fabric, which you don't need to do. Your sewing machine naturally wants to sew in a straight line. The feed dogs, these little teeth under the presser foot, are what move your fabric through. They go down, move forward, come back up, and repeat. As long as your fabric is covering both feed dogs and isn't hanging off the edge of your machine, it should move straight all on its own. So you don't need to do a lot of steering back there. Just use a light touch. Guide the fabric gently with your fingertips. If you're pushing or pulling too much, you can actually bend or even break your needle. So let the machine do the work. Remember, you're just there to guide it. So now that you're looking in the right place, you're guiding your fabric gently, the next thing to keep in mind is just to slow down. If you've ever watched a sped up sewing video online, I promise you, nobody sews that fast in real life. Even my own videos are sped up a lot of the time, just to save you all some viewing time. And sewing is definitely not a race. It's completely okay to slow down and enjoy yourself. And if you ever need to stop in the middle of a seam, that's totally fine too. Just make sure you lower your needle down into the fabric before you stop. That keeps your fabric from shifting so you don't get a little bump or curve when you start back up. Sometimes I'll stop just to adjust my fabric or lift it up a bit if it's hanging off the edge, or just to take a moment and reset. There's no rush, especially when you're learning. Once you get the basics down, a little practice goes a long way. Try drawing some straight lines on a scrap fabric with a fabric marker and sew right along those lines. That's an easy way to build up your muscle memory. After a few tries, you'll start noticing that your hands automatically guide the fabric straighter without you even thinking about it. And once you're sewing straight consistently, then it's a great time to start using seam guides or special feet to help you keep your seams perfectly consistent, especially for quilting or garments. So, to recap, look further down the road, don't oversteer, and take your time. That's really all it takes to start sewing straight seams every time. If this video helped you out, give it a like down below, as it really does help out the channel. And if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. You can check out the links in the description for more videos on getting started with your sewing machine. Thanks for joining me today. I've been Brian Parks for Parks Crafty Creations. Happy sewing, and we'll see you next time.